Hey guys, wanted to talk to you guys again. There's been a lot said on the internet about a high value man. And Kevin Samuels defined it as six characteristics. One, he said about money. A high value man is supposed to make six figures. A high value man has been earning that. Number two, for a length of time. He's done it for 3 to 5 years. Number three is group acceptance. He's accepted by his peers. Number four is a network. Number five is visibility. And number six is utility, right? Usefulness to the group. And a lot of people have talked about how value, and I don't disagree with that definition. But here's the thing. What about high character? Now, on this channel, we're going to talk a lot about high character. And the truth of the matter is that high character is something that we can all aspire to, but very few men are going to get there. And the reason that high character is so hard is because the bar for high character is even harder than high value, because you're not going to get there just because of time. And so let's just get into what I mean by a high character man. Number one is this: he has principles and character. So that is the number one plank of a high character man. Principles or character that do not change with time, do not change with situations. They are straightforward. I'm talking about things like humility. I'm talking about things like strength of character. I'm talking about things like honesty. A high character man will refuse to lie. A high character man will admit when he is wrong. A high character man has strength. He is going to fight for his convictions. This is a high character man. Now, there are people who are character, and they may sometimes lie, right? But we talking about a high character man. This is a man of unusual character. Number two is the time. I do not disagree. It takes time to be high character. Now, unlike high value, which is 3 to 5 years, I believe to be a high character man, it needs to be 5 to 7 years of showing character. And the reason is for this. Character shows itself over time as you show yourself in many different situations. Then your character will be shown. Your temper will be shown. Oftentimes people have said that a man is like a sword, and I always say that a man is like a sword. But the important thing about a sword is how it's been sharpened and what it's made out of. That tells you what the value of a sword is. Well, you can't tell what a man is made of until he's been through some stuff. And you don't be through some stuff in one day, in 1 year. You have to go through things over time. We have to see you go through it. We have to see you go through death of family members and death of friends. We have to see you lose friends. We have to see you lose jobs, get rich, get poor. We have to see you go through different situations of life, and your character keeps rising. Number three is group acceptance. This man, if he's going to be high character, he needs to be part of the church. And not just part of the church, he needs to be an integral part of the church. And we're going to talk about that. But the truth of the matter is that there are too many men who are unaffiliated with churches. And they could be good men, but guess what? They're never going to be a high character man. If you want to be a high character man, you need to be in the church, connected to the church. That leads to number four, a network. A high character man is a leader. And when you talk about a network of high character men, yes, that starts at the church, but it extends outside the church, because every time I meet a Christian man somewhere who really holds those values, I'm not talking about those wimpy Christians that you find in some of these churches. I'm talking about a real Christian man, a man who's willing to die for his faith. If I meet a man like that, it's automatically, I make a note in my mind. Ooh, this dude is for real. This is a warrior. This is somebody who can join my army. And that network of high character men, it keeps extending. But we know that we're going to need each other, because we know that we're going to face hardship in the future. So you need a network of high character men. And the truth of the matter is that men, we need each other. We need that connection. We need encouragement. And men of character are honest with themselves. They read their own selves. They know their own rhythms. And they're going to say to themselves, hey, man, I need help at these times. Number five is visibility, which we're going to exchange for faithfulness and leadership. A high character man needs to be seen to be high character. He is not silent in the background being high character. No, he is in the public eye being high character. He is proclaiming his values. He is preaching the truth. He is leading against the charge. He is standing up and saying yes is yes and no is no. He is not afraid to say what his values are. He's not afraid to make people enemies because he is standing up for something. When a man stands for something, he is okay with making enemies because that's simply the cost of doing business. Listen, when you want to do right, you're willing to pay that cost. Everybody is going to have to pay a cost if they want to stand for something. Jesus had to pay the ultimate cost. He died. Paul had to pay the ultimate cost. He died. Peter had to pay the ultimate cost. He died. And a lot of these men could have been rich if they wanted to be, but they gave that up. And so when you talk about being a high character man, sometimes that may go to the extent of even sacrificing the ability to be a high value man. And we know, man, all of us yearn for that. I think about my father, who was six figures. He was a high value man, but he gave that up so that he could serve in the church. How you going to beat that? How you going to knock that? That's a high character man. And the sixth and last thing is utility. You got to be useful. A high character man is useful to himself and to the others in the group. And so a high character man is going to be an active part of his church because he has to be. He is integral. I think about other guys in my life who are high character men, and I realize that if they weren't in the church would not function the same. There's a fellow in the church that I always think about. And I always joke with him and I say, a ministry is not an official church ministry unless you're there. And the truth of the matter is he is so faithful that he is always there. And he is one of the ones who is the engine of that church. Well, a high character man, he's going to be the engine of many different places. He's the engine of his family, but he's also the engine at his church. He is one that is powering the ministry. So these are the 6 characteristics of a high character man. Hey, subscribe to us if you like what we're saying here, the Zeal Brothers, and we're going to keep on putting out good content. Thank you, guys.